Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK today. I hope you all are doing very well, and today we'll be discussing the most important MCQs for 10th of May 2024. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series on GK Today's Android application. So if you want the PDF of these lectures, you can subscribe to that course. Okay. Second thing is, I felt that we have missed a lot of questions from the past week, so that's why today and tomorrow, means on Friday and Saturday, we will cover those questions in spite of our revision part. So actually we will be replacing the revision part with the missed questions, so that we can cover all the questions till Sunday, and after that from Monday onwards we will continue our revision as usual. Okay, let's start with our session. The first question is, recently where was the 26th ASEAN Indian Senior Officials Meeting held? So the 26th ASEAN India Senior Officials Meeting took place in New Delhi. It was co-chaired by Jaideep Mazumdar and Albert Chua. Okay, so there they have reviewed ASEAN India relations. Basic focus was on political security, economic and socio-cultural engagement. They discussed how to implement the Prime Minister's 12-point proposal so as to strengthen the ASEAN-India Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, and preparation for the upcoming ASEAN-India Summit that would be taking place in Laos was also discussed at this meeting. ASEAN actually appreciated India's support for ASEAN and regional architecture. Okay, so what was the venue for this meeting? Your answer is A option, New Delhi. Next is, what is MQ-9B Predator recently seen in the news? So this is a high altitude unmanned aerial vehicle. India will acquire the MQ-9B Predator drones from the US, and they would be deploying it in the state of Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh. Okay, it was developed by General Atomics Aeronautical System. It is a high altitude, long endurance armed unmanned aerial vehicle. It is used by the US for surveillance and airstrike, and it has two variants. The first one is Sky Guardian and the second one is the Sea Guardian. Okay, and the Sea Guardian has been utilized by the Indian Navy since 2020. Okay, so MQ-9B Predator is a high altitude unmanned aerial vehicle. Recently, which country clinched men's AFC Under-23 Asian Cup 2024 by defeating the country Uzbekistan? This is the country Japan, that is C option. Japan secured their second men's AFC Under-23 Asian Cup title by defeating the country Uzbekistan in the final match that took place in Doha in Qatar. Okay, and with this, Japan has secured a spot in the 2024 Paris Olympics, and the Japanese goalkeeper's crucial penalty saves ensured their win. Iraq claimed the bronze medal after defeating Indonesia in the semi-finals. Okay, so your correct answer is Japan, and who was the runner-up? Answer is Uzbekistan country. Recently, Jose Raul Mulino has been elected as the new president of which country? So he wins the Panama's presidential elections with nearly 35% of votes and a 9% lead over the rivals. And who was the outgoing president? This is Laurentino Cortizo. Okay, he congratulated him, and this election saw Mulino stand in for Riccardo Martinelli, who faced legal troubles. So Mulino was supported by the Martinelli's party, and he acknowledges his assistance. Martinelli fled after a money laundering conviction, as we know. Elections also chose parliament and local government for the next 5 years. Fine. So who is the new president of Panama country? This is Jose Raul Mulino. Okay. Next is, which asset management company has recently launched India's first Nifty non-cyclical index fund? Here correct answer is the Grow Mutual Fund. Grow Mutual Fund recently introduced India's first Nifty non-cyclical consumer index fund, and this mutual fund aims for long-term capital growth by the investing in the securities from the Nifty non-cyclical consumer index. Okay, so it comprises of 30 companies less affected by economic instability, and non-cyclical stocks, which are also known as defensive stocks, sustain the demand irrespective of economic fluctuations, catering to daily consumer necessities like food and utilities, making them resilient investment choices. Okay, so your correct answer is A option, Groww Mutual Fund. Also these days the Hopen Island is in news. Can you tell me Hopen Island is located in which ocean? Your answer would be Arctic Ocean. Okay, and why this island came into news? Because the first case of bird flu killing a walrus was found on this island. That's why it came into news. Okay, so this island lies in the Arctic Ocean and it consists of low-lying tundra, rocky outcrops and coastal cliffs. Fine. Recently, which country's men's team won 11th Thomas Cup by defeating the country Indonesia? So the 2024 BWF Thomas and Uber Cup that took place in China saw the Chinese badminton team's dominance, winning both men's and women's title. So if we talk about the Thomas Cup, the China country has beaten the Indonesia, claiming their 11th victory, and India, by defending the champions, lost to China in the quarterfinals. And if we talk about the Uber Cup has been claimed by China country again, and this is the first time since 2012 that one nation has clinched both titles at the World Team Championship. Fine. Correct answer is here A option, China. Next is, recently which organization has released the norms, guidelines and procedures for the implementation of Indian Space Policy 2023? This is I&Space, that is Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center. They have actually released the norms, guidelines and procedures for Indian space policy that would enhance the regulatory measures and ease of business. Also, it covers authorization for space activities within Indian territory and jurisdiction, including the launch, operation and re-entry of the space object. So only Indian entities can seek the authorization, while non-Indian entities can apply through Indian counterparts, and NGP outlines the criteria and conditions for authorization, ensuring the transparency and compliance with regulations in the Indian space sector. Okay, so your correct answer is INSPACE. Full form is Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center. Next is, Tadoba Andhari Tiger Reserve, recently seen in the news, is located in which Indian state? Here correct answer would be the Maharashtra state, that is C option. Maharashtra Forest Department plans to move the tigers from Tadoba Andhari Tiger Reserve to the Sahyadri Tiger Reserve. Okay, and it is located in the Western Ghats. It was formed in the year 2010 and it includes the Chandoli National Park and the Koila Wildlife Sanctuary. So this reserve boasts unique undulating terrain with steep slopes and barren rocky plateaus known as the Sadas. Fine. So it hosts abundant climax and near climax vegetation with minimal human impact anticipated. Fine. So what is the location of Tadoba Andhari Tiger Reserve? It lies in the state of Maharashtra. Next question is, what is the projected percentage of milk production reduction in India by 2085 as per the Lancet report? So rising temperatures in India could slash the milk production by 25% by the end of 2085, and it has been told as per a Lancet report. India, as we know, is the top global milk producer and consumer. It faces severe livelihood and nutritional risk. The Northern Plains contribute 30% of India's milk, which is supported by 89 million smallholder farmers. Heat stress is measured by temperature humidity index and it reduces the milk yield, and this could cost 3.4 lakh tons of milk and 15,000 crores by 2030 in the Northern Plains alone. Okay, so it is anticipated that 25% of milk production would be reduced in India by the end of 2085 as per the Lancet report. Okay, now these days FWD 200B is in news. What is it? Actually, it is a indigenous bomber unmanned aircraft. Okay, so Bangalore based company has introduced it, and it is India's premier indigenous bomber unmanned aerial vehicle. So the medium altitude long endurance craft boasts a maximum takeoff weight of 498 kgs and it operates up to 9,000 feet above sea level. So it is equipped with optical surveillance gear and it is integrated with missile-like weapons for precision air strikes, which marks a significant advancement in India's defense technology, right? So what is it? If you were asked, then answer would be it is an indigenous bomber unmanned aircraft. Fine. Central Drugs Standard Control Organization, recently seen in the news, operates under which ministry? Here correct answer would be Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, that is A option. And the Central Drugs Standard Control Organization would be started from 15th of May 2024 and it gains sole authority to issue manufacturing licenses for new drugs that are intended for export and by sidelining the state governments. And all export related no objection certificates must now be applied through CDSCO zonal offices via the SUGAM portal. Previously the state authorities handled this, and this move aims to streamline the exports and tackle the delays that were identified by the Drug Consultative Committee. And CDSCO, which works under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, regulates the drugs across India through 9 zonal offices. Okay, so which ministry undertakes it? Answer is the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Next is, which High Court recently issued the directives to combat the use of spurious oxytocin hormone in dairy colonies due to animal cruelty? This is the Delhi High Court. Delhi High Court mandates action against oxytocin use in the city dairies due to animal cruelty concerns. Weekly inspections and legal actions were ordered by the Delhi government to combat the oxytocin misuse with public involvement. Actually, the oxytocin boosts milk production, but it harms the cattle and humans, which leads to further health issues like uterine ruptures and milk contamination. So misuse violates the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act and Drugs and Cosmetic Act, which poses the risk to both animals and the consumers, right? So your correct answer is B option, Delhi High Court. Who have been named as the laureates of the 2024 UNESCO Guillermo Cano World Press Freedom Prize? This is Palestinian journalist, that is C option. Palestinian journalist covering Gaza won the 2024 UNESCO Guillermo Cano World Press Freedom Prize. By this, they have recognized their bravery in perilous conditions, and this award ceremony held on 2nd of May during the World Press Freedom Conference in Chile. Because amid ongoing Gaza conflict, 26 journalists and media workers lost their lives since October 2023, prompting the USA to call for collective action to safeguard the journalists worldwide, right? And additional cases of concern are under review. So this is Palestinian journalists who were named as laureates of the 2024 UNESCO Guillermo Cano World Press Freedom Prize. Which states are related with the dispute of Mullaperiyar Dam recently seen in the news? This is Tamil Nadu and Kerala, that is A option. Tamil Nadu accuses Kerala in the Supreme Court of obstructing the Mullaperiyar Dam maintenance while raising the safety concern, and Kerala allegedly delays routine maintenance for months to over a year. Okay, Tamil Nadu seeks court's intervention for completing the strengthening works on smaller and main dams, requesting the permission to cut down nearly 15 trees, and it criticizes the Kerala for not cooperating despite the supervisory committee's authority under the Dam Safety Act of 2021. This dam was built in the late 1800s, which diverts the water of Periyar river to Tamil Nadu. Okay, simply we have to remember that which two states are involved in the Mullaperiyar Dam. Answer is Kerala and Tamil Nadu. What is the main objective of Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services recently seen in the news? First of all, it was established in the year 1999 under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, and recently they have issued some alerts to the coastal states about the rough seas, high waves and inundation risk. So it operates under ESSO. Basic aim is to furnish oceanic data, information and advisory services to various sectors, and its activities include round-the-clock monitoring and warning services for the tsunamis, storm surges and high waves. Also, it deploys ocean observing system to collect data and predict the oceanic changes, right? So what is the main purpose of the National Center for Ocean Information Services? Answer would be to provide the ocean data, information and advisory services. Fine. Border Road Organization recently celebrated its 65th Racing Day. Comes under which ministry? BRO marked its 65th Racing Day on 7th of May 2024, where a ceremony took place in New Delhi, and it was led by Union Defence Secretary Giridhar Aramane. It was established in the year 1960 by the Nehru government, and the BRO undertakes the critical road project for the army. Who is the current head of BRO? This is Lieutenant General Raghu Srinivasan, right? And it operates under Ministry of Defence with the motto, "In the silence of our great mountains, world speaks." Fine. So you have to remember two things. First of all, BRO works under Ministry of Defence, and second thing is this was their 65th Racing Day. Please remember this number, okay? The next question is, what is the IUCN status of orangutan recently seen in the news? By the way, I love orangutan. They are so cute. And in Indonesia country, scientists witnessed a wild male orangutan treating a facial wound with chewed up leaves of a medicinal plant. And orangutans are recognized by their red fur, and they are the largest arboreal mammals who spend over 90% of their time in trees, right? They inhabit Sumatra and Borneo with habitats ranging from swamp forest to mountainous region. 3 species exist of them, and they share 96.4% of human genes, and orangutans face critical endangerment. That's why they are classified as critically endangered by the IUCN in their red list. Fine. So what is the IUCN status of orangutan? They are critically endangered. Pakistan recently launched its first ever lunar mission named as iCube Qamar in collaboration with which country? So Pakistan and the country China have jointly launched the iCube Qamar, which is the Pakistan's inaugural lunar mission, and this is the 7 kg satellite which is developed by Pakistan's Institute of Space Technology, Superco, and China's SJTU. So this is part of China's Chang'e 6 mission, and it is equipped with 2 optical cameras. It actually orbits the moon, and it enables the Pakistan to conduct satellite-based research on lunar surface imagery independently. Fine. So you can be asked that iCube Qamar is the lunar mission of which country? Answer is Pakistan, and this is in collaboration with the country China. Okay. Which country has recently introduced an artificially intelligent generated spokesperson named as Victoria She? Answer is here Ukraine. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine has introduced an AI generated avatar named as Victoria She. It is their digital spokesperson, and she is clad in professional attire, and it presents the updates on consular affairs via the social media. While her appearance is artificial intelligence generated, the content she delivers is human written and verified. Okay, so Foreign Minister has introduced her as a groundbreaking move where it highlights the time and resource saving, and Ukraine showcases its embrace of innovative technology in diplomatic operations, right? So this is an AI generated spokesperson which belongs to Ukraine. The next question is, what is the theme of World Asthma Day 2024? First of all, the theme was Asthma Education Empowers, okay, where we stress the importance of educating those with asthma for effective disease management and timely medical intervention. With over 260 million affected globally, asthma causes over 4,50,000 preventable deaths annually. So health professionals are requested to enhance their understanding of asthma's impact and evidence-based management to offer the optimal care and reduce avoidable morbidity and mortality. Fine. So World Asthma Day is observed every year on the first Tuesday of May month. Okay, and this year it falls on 7th of May. And the theme was Asthma Education Empowers. Recently, which state has decided to implement the central government's Smart PDS scheme? This is the state Kerala. Kerala embraces the Smart PDS scheme. Basic aim is to modernize and enhance the efficiency in the public distribution system. It is led by the Department of Food and Public Distribution. It aims to curb the food grain leakage and improve distribution chain efficiency. So this technology-driven initiative centralizes the ration card data and enables the real-time monitoring from procurement to the distribution. Costs are shared between the union and the state governments, with the state covering the expenses for the key components like training and infrastructure. Smart ration cards with beneficiary fingerprints ensure the transparent transaction, right? So Kerala state has decided to implement the central government's smart PDS scheme. Now the last question is, which institute recently conducted a study on coral bleaching in the Lakshadweep Sea? This is Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute, that is B option. They have reported severe coral bleaching in the Lakshadweep Sea due to prolonged marine heat waves since 2023 and the rapid warming in the Indian Ocean, which is coupled by strong El Niños, has increased the heat wave frequency, and the Western Indian Ocean saw the highest rise with about 1.5 events per decade, followed by the Northern Bay of Bengal at 0.5 events per decade. In 2020, 85% of the coral in the Gulf of Mannar totally bleached. Okay, so this was the report from ICAR, Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. Whatever is left would be covered tomorrow, and from Monday onwards we will cover our revision session as well. Okay, now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.